All right, we'll call the meeting to order. You would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
His Honor the Mayor.
Here.
Councilor McBrady.
Here.
Councilor Burge.
Here.
Councilor Hill.
Here.
Councilor Walker.
Here.
Councilor Gosick.
Here.
Councilor Plunkett.
Here.
Councilor Cordino.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. I'd just like to remind everyone the creepy crawl on the Haunted Riverwalk starts Thursday from 6 to 9:30 and then runs Friday and Saturday 6 to 10, but down behind the Pontiac Apartments. The Riverwalk has actually already been closed because they're down there decorating and setting up now. We have a lot of, this event started in 2019, took 2020 off because of the pandemic, but it's back now, and we have some great bands lined up, some additional activities compared to a few years ago, so I would encourage people, the weather looks good Thursday, it looks semi-decent Friday and Saturday, so I'd encourage people to take the opportunity to get down and check it out. I think you'll have a great time. And thank the DPW and Economic Development Office for working together to get the event up and running. These events take a lot of time and energy and effort, so happy to put them on and can't wait to see people enjoy the events. Any counselors have anything to add before we get started? Seeing none, will clerk please call resolution 343.
Approve minutes common council meeting held October 12th, 2021.
Counselor Corodino, Counselor Plunkett. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call resolution 344.
Approve use of public space for the 7th Annual Trinity Turkey Trot Family Run Walk to be held on November 21st, 2021.
Counselor Walker, Counselor Gosick. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 346?
Authorize mayor to sign documents with Messick, Cohen, Wilson, and Baker Architects LLP in the amount of $5,540 for additional services for the City Hall restoration project.
It's resolution 345. Sorry, Counselor Burridge, Counselor Hill. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 346?
Authorize mayor to sign amendment number 1 with GHD Consulting Engineers LLC in the amount of $65,100 for additional services for the water storage tank evaluation.
Counselor Corodino, Counselor Plunkett. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 347?
Authorize mayor to sign change order number 14 with Patricia Electric Incorporated in the amount of $3,181.28 for electrical services for the Eastside Wastewater Treatment Plant Asset Management Plan Improvement Project.
Counselor McBrady, Counselor Burridge. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 348?
Authorize mayor to sign any and all documents with New York State Department of Transportation for the anticipated local matching share for the federal aid local project.
Counselor Walker, Counselor Plunkett. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Walker.
Yes.
Councilor Gosick.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Cordino.
Yes.
Councilor McBrady.
Yes.
Councilor Burge.
Yes.
Councilor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call resolution 349?
Authorize mayor to sign agreement with Northbrook in the amount of $316,800 for the operations and maintenance of the High Dam facility.
Counselor Hill, Counselor Plunkett. This relates to the RFP that was sent out earlier this month. It's a complex and complicated decision, so I just want to try to give some context into how we got here in the first place. As the speaker mentioned earlier, we've had quite a long standing relationship with Brookfield, so to change directions now has to be certainly for good reason and in my view, as a last resort. So to talk about and provide some context to the public, I think it's important to go through a few points. The current contract now with Brookfield is about $27,500 a month. That's $330,000 annually that we pay for Brookfield to operate the facility that the city owns. We've had quite a long dialogue with Brookfield the last year or so, starting back over a year ago with new people entering the engineering department, a new city engineer, as everyone knows, new engineering tech, as everyone knows, and we've made the decision about a year ago to either consider selling the high dam or double down and invest significantly in the high dam because, as we know, the high dam is supposed to make the city money by generating power. So after talking, we made the decision to not repeat sins of the past in Oswego, where they sold the water tunnel for a lot of money up front, and then it was to the detriment of generations 20 years later and beyond, that we would invest in this facility, and we'll be talking about that early next year. But at the same time, we had to look inward and see what was going on in the facility and take a much closer look if we're going to allocate such investment like we're talking about here early next year. So Jeff Hinderleiter and Taryn Pasho in engineering have spent a lot more time in the facility than city staff has previously, and I think a lot of the discussions generated from the increase in time and attention that we've, as a city, have given the facility, which in hindsight we should have been doing a long time ago or all along, but that's what we thought we were paying Brookfield for. So several conversations taking place, different work orders, requests, so on and so forth, but I want to really pick up the conversation when it gets to my desk in about May of 2021. Now, of the 25 to 30 phone calls I get a day from various department heads or city employees, rarely are any of the phone calls good news. Rarely is it, hey, Mayor, good news, this is really going to make your day. You're not going to believe how well it turned out. Listen to this. I get maybe one of those phone calls a week. The other 24 to 28 phone calls a day are questions or problems. So by the time something gets down to my desk, it's already, developed and perhaps expanded beyond the original problem to the point where now department heads have to come downstairs, bring it to me, and we'll figure out together the way forward. So I'll pick it up in May, and I'll leave all the we'll call them minor issues out of the conversation that led Jeff Hinderleiter to come down to my office in around May of 2021 and bring me up to speed on what was going on at the high dam. We go through various email chains, work orders. They clearly demonstrate to me that we have trouble with the high dam. The dam's been down for extended periods of time. It's not bringing in as much revenue as we're used to. We have work orders that are outstanding for extended periods of time. Serious maintenance issues that need to be addressed, that's not being addressed. So we convene a meeting with Brookfield in June, I think June 29th to be exact, where I'm sitting in this meeting to try to get to the bottom of these issues with Brookfield and determine maybe it's personalities, maybe it's just communication, or maybe the narrative that was put together with email chains and photographs by city personnel happens to be true. So we have that meeting where no real constructive answer other than, quote, stuck in my junk box, comes out of that meeting. But some other issues were revealed that we really still didn't get any answers to. So real quick, just a couple examples. This is a picture of Unit 1, the actuators leaking July 16th, 2021. This is after that June 29th meeting in my office, and that meeting didn't go so well, so we actually put Brookfield on notice back in June that we were going to be canceling the contract, but we were going to be issuing an RFP, and certainly if Brookfield submitted to that RFP, we would consider them, but it was established in that meeting that at a minimum, we were going to have to reissue this RFP and draw up new terms of a contract so the city can get better service for the money it's paying. So 7/16, after that meeting, you see the photo here. We have email communications with Brookfield's operation managers stating that the actuator had a catastrophic failure. The seal released 70 gallons of hydraulic fluid on the generator windings on August 30th, 2021. So just pay attention to the time, 7/16/2021, 8/30, 2021. Because we couldn't get a repair in that month and a half, it cost the city $60,000 because of the fluid on the generator windings. Now, council, for 60 grand, does anyone have any ideas what we could do with 60 grand? Maybe some sidewalks? Maybe pave another road or two? New playground? Another example, what I'm trying to do here is show you the breadth of the issues from large scale, $60,000 cost now because of hydraulic fluid versus bushings that, we certainly got our money's worth out of them because it's the original 1995 bushing, but they should have been replaced and certainly inspected before they went bad, as you can see the failed one did on the right. So as a result, the $9 bushing failure caused 60 grand. Plus lost revenue due to generator 1 needing to go down because it was now inoperable. And this is part of the inspection logs that Brookfield should have been doing and the basic maintenance. Another example, this one is really concerning. Oil samples that should have been submitted for testing found in piles of junk on inventory shelves. As you can see, it's dated and marked, but then it was put in this box with half dozen or so other samples where it sat for some time. So that's a concern. We actually brought in the summer, an outfit called Fairbanks, just to come in and supplement our city staff with going through the facility, just so we could get a better understanding of what was going on. And Fairbanks was nice enough to point out that some of the filters that should be changed out every 6 months or so had not been changed out since, you can see the marker on the filter, 8/1/17, 9/15/17, and 8/6/19. Basic maintenance just not getting done. Unit number 4, generator oil leak. Oil on the windings. The machine needs to be tested. The windings need to be cleaned. That's $60,000 just because oil gets on the windings. This is maybe my favorite of the list. And the reason it may be my favorite is because, pay attention to the dates. We released the RFP in early October. I want to say October 1st or around there. The city emailed Brookfield Operations Management about flashboard replacements in July of 2021. But let's ignore that and just fast forward to October 7th. The RFP is already out. So, to draw a parallel, if you're a football player in a contract year, second half of the season, you don't have a job lined up for next year, you want to be playing your best football, right? Your best football. The RFP's out. 10/7, that email goes unanswered until 10/19. And then flashboards were delivered to city DPW, but I don't know if they're installed still. Maybe. As a result of that delay, we had to amend the city's FERC license. What's important about flashboards is it's directly related to the electricity your facility can generate, the capacity of your facility. So the high dams, the flashboards haven't been replaced in 2 years, even though the contract explicitly states we must replace flashboards. But what's even more interesting is the two other Brookfield facilities, Varick and Minetto, which are facilities in between, they've had their flashboards replaced, but ours have not been replaced. So it's not a supply issue, it's not a river depth issue, it's not a time, we don't have time issue, because the other two facilities got it done, and you can actually see in the photo the change in the depth, the water line there on the concrete because of the flashboards. And then this is just another interesting one. It's worth noting, we incurred a $17,000 fee from ABB Inc. for a misdiagnosed control issue. And what happened here is Taryn had reached out to Brookfield because he noticed the gates, issues with the gates, and called Brookfield, who said it must be controls related. As a result, Taryn then called ABB Inc., who sent down a tech, and the tech said, nope, it's not controls, it's definitely mechanical. We called Brookfield back and said, we talked to AB&B, they say it's mechanical. Brookfield sends a mechanic, yep, it's mechanical. Only problem is, the AB&B bill cost 17 grand. So that brings us to tonight, where the council has a decision to make. We issued the RFP. 3 companies did respond. Renewable Energy, their proposal was late, so we didn't even look at that, and we're left with Northbrook and Brookfield. Northbrook offers a 2-year contract, which is what we asked for, at $316,800 per year. One thing we actually really like about their proposal is they commit to staffing a full-time person 40 hours a week at the high dam. And they're willing to broker 10 years of renewable energy credits, so having a high dam, you actually earn these energy credits that you can turn into basically cash and get paid, because that's the way the world's moving into hydropower. So we haven't been doing anything with those credits for some time. I mean, nobody on city staff, I think, totally understands it. I certainly don't, but we know there's potential there, and Northbrook's willing to do that for us. Brookfield's proposal did drop from the 330 to 210 with 3% increase year. It is a 5-year deal offered, which we prefer the short term for now, but it's neither here nor there. All other things in their proposal really stay the same, which of particular concern to us is the floating employees. There's not a dedicated employee to the high dam. So, and then there's no mention of energy and renewable energy credit brokering services. So they were really kind of the 3 distinct differences, at least that I found in the proposals, but ultimately it's your decision. I do appreciate Brookfield's conversation today and over the past week, and I understand the concern. We do know, and we hope to have Northbrook and Brookfield cooperation in sitting all 3 parties down, because the facilities are so close together. There is going to have to be a memorandum of agreement, at least, to make sure all 3 parties are operating, notifying each other the way they should be, and working together as much as possible. There's a dam facility in Phoenix that's run by Eagle Creek, so it's not unprecedented to have different companies operating different facilities along the river. Still, the point is still strong with these facilities so close to each other. We need to be all working together, and we think we have a plan for that and hope to get both companies in a room to do so. The offer of no cost to the city, the only issue there is that isn't the offer that was submitted through the RFP process. The RFP process, as the council knows, is a very public process where once the council decides to authorize purchasing to post that RFP, we can't even talk to vendors, potential bidders during that process. So I'd advise against, or certainly legal, I think, would advise against shutting down an RFP process for a verbal proposal that wasn't included in the submission that could have been. So that's the issue there. It's complicated, certainly complex. It took a lot of development to get us to this point, but at the end of the day, my obligation is to the taxpayers of the city who pay for this facility to run and count on it to produce revenue, to be run properly, so that we don't have to raise taxes and fees in the future. And we think going in a different direction at this time is the right way to go for both the facility and the taxpayers of the city. Any counselors have anything to add? Seeing none, will clerk please call the roll?
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosek.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Clerk, please call Resolution 350.
Waive rules of the Common Council to present Resolution number 351 from the floor without committee consideration.
Counselor Gozick, Counselor Plunkett. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosek.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Will clerk please call Resolution 351?
Resolution supporting the inclusion of Fort Ontario and Oswego, New York to be designated as a unit of the National Park System.
Counselor Hill, Counselor Cordino. This is a resolution we're hoping to pass to support the Fort Ontario Complex Safe Haven Museum to be listed as a national landmark. We think would reap enormous economic benefits to the city of Oswego, and perhaps more importantly, appropriately recognize the unique local historical assets we have that, in this case, is Fort Ontario and Safe Haven. The public comment period, is that still open? Public comment period is still open, so we encourage counselors, other stakeholders, leaders in the community, and of course, members of the public to submit words of support and encouragement to getting this listed on the list of historic places. But as a city government, we're happy to submit this resolution in this format to offer supportive words and continue to root for the designation here in the future. Any comments? Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosek.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Any unfinished business to come before the council? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Counselor Plunkett, Counselor Burridge. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Gosek.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Cordino.
Yes.
Counselor McBrady.
Yes.
Counselor Burridge.
Yes.
Counselor Hill.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Meeting is adjourned.